So yeah, I despise the I voice afterwards, after this entire thing. But hey, let's just see what Ref has to say about Asmongold. Hat Hasan einfach verdammt nochmal zerstört. He basically, damn, he destroyed him. Let's see how.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we have a good old-fashioned Slopapalooza involving a crisscrossing of the multiverse realms here with Ethan Klein, Hasan Piker, and Asmongold all having some sort of drama going on between them. And we're going to get into a whole host of things, including Hasan Piker coping and seething about the fact that people don't want to defend him, while also claiming that Asmongold is faking his success. And then...
Oh, this old thing again. Well, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, for F's sake. I mean, it's funny because at the end of the day, you just have to imagine you're Hasan, the top political streamer on Twitch. Everybody sucks your balls all the time. You're literally getting everything from them. You are pushed for absolutely no reason. And then a freaking Roach King just destroys you. Freaking awesome. Why look so evil? Why he looks so evil, eh? You're correct. Hasan does look evil in this one. I mean, it's fitting. Let's not lie to each other. Konnichiwa, Shadow Master. I hope you're doing good, by the way. James, sorry, I forgot to ask you how are you doing and how are you doing, Shadow Master.
We're going to look at some more drama involving Ethan Klein and Hasan, and also some claims that Ethan Klein's audience is nothing but white males. So let's jump right into it with Hasan Piker. So his last couple of streams, not great, okay? He's been doing a lot of...
Hashtag girlboss, FBI Dre, John Bolt, Trump, DC Patch... Okay.
Coping and seething. It seems like a lot of the drama and criticism is starting to really get to him. And of course, as always, with anything that happens in this man's life, it's all centered around who else but as...
I love this background. Oh, this is beautiful. I just adore this background. I don't even know how the freak he came up with the idea. But... oh, freak. And by the way, James, just... Damn. I hope otherwise it's fine.
Asmongold. And in this case, we're about to watch part of a clip where he is heavily insinuating that Asmongold is view-botting. He is faking his success on platforms like Twitch, and the coping is just unbelievable.
I thought the top dog in Twitch politics was Asmongold, but something shifted. Something shifted yesterday, and it turns out we actually have a similar number of viewers, as a matter of fact. I mean, he was hitting like 50K every day. He was always like 20K above wherever I was. Sometimes even 60K. I would have like 30K to 40K. He would have 60K. And now it seems like we have the same number of viewers, which is, I don't know what it is. I'm not even saying that I'm not making any inferences about this. I'm not saying that this is like something that Asmongold himself did. But it has been a significant decrease in the viewership after.
See, I can actually explain or answer your question, and it makes sense with this. Coping. You don't want the thing you invested your time in to be totally destroyed, so you cope hard and harder and harder. Because if it comes out that the thing you're defending or the streamer you're watching was a bad person, you're also a bad person. And a lot of people's ego just cannot actually take it. So yeah. Yeah, and the Roach King has a way of getting people's braids. Probably with the antenna first. Yep. Yeah.
After Twitch said that they were going to go after bots.
So right off the bat, this is very ironic because Asmongold does not care about the title of the top political streamer on Twitch. He has stated this many times, and I think that's something a lot of people would believe. If you know anything about the guy, he would not cherish a title like that. But someone else does.
True.
and that's Hasan Piker, to the point where after being dethroned by Asmon, he has been cock-watching his view count every single day, waiting for times where they're starting to get close. And now that they're close, he's getting all excited and giddy that he might be back in that top spot, which is not only just for vanity's sake, it's also very misguided and misleading to his audience, because only a few months ago, Asmongold announced that he was multi-streaming on Kick, and he's been doing that ever since then. And that obviously fractures a bit of his audience. And with the stream in particular that Hasan was looking at, he had between 10 to 20,000 Kick viewers. So add that on top of the view count on Twitch.
The ego of Hasan won't allow it. Huh? What? Asmongold triggered Charlie. Okay. Didn't hear about that one, but could you share a video or something like that in the Discord afterwards? Because I am actually quite interested in that one.
And it's back to the normal status quo that Hasan was referring to from weeks or months ago. So he completely self-owned by leaving that out, and I can't believe his audience doesn't call that out. You can see Hasan's audience not saying anything about this. This is such a very obvious observation to make about him multi-streaming and affecting the numbers on Twitch. But anyways, I want to take a short segue here and talk about view botting, which is kind of the focus of what we just talked about, because this has been a big problem on Twitch for many, many, many years, and they've done nothing about it.
I mean, it is always a problem, no matter which platform you're on. That's nothing special, because let's be honest, it's a very, very easy way of actually getting your views without actually, well, doing anything, basically. It's just easy views. And I am sure that a lot of people that actually stream do it. Just because, well, it's an easy way out.
But back about a month ago, they announced that they're going to crack down on view botting, and a lot of people said, yeah, sure, whatever, buddy. But they did do it, and the results have been devastating. The last couple of days, viewership on many different channels has plummeted. And this is something, again, that was shamelessly done for a long time. It's very obvious a lot of bigger accounts especially were view botting. And now you can see, just based on the last couple of days, overall site-wide viewership is down between 5 to 22%.
Damn.
That's how much botting there was on this platform. And if you look at some examples, this is one a lot of people were pointing out. There's this individual named Mira, and you can see, you can probably guess as to what they're doing. They're one of those kind of like lewd content bots that just plays a pre-recorded stream on loop 24/7 to collect ad revenue. And you can see their view count right now, 300, which would be a bit odd, because for years they've been averaging around 2,000+ active viewers at any given time. However, around the 17th, when this happened, their view count has dropped.
James. Yes, I am sure people watch her for the plot, nothing else. Purely for the plot. I don't know. And I think there is plot 1 and plot 2. One on the right side and the other one on the left side. And probably the left one is a bit bigger than the right one. I don't know. It's just a guess of mine.
Dropped into the hundreds. They went from about 2,000 a day to about 1 to 200. Just as they're cracking down on bots. It's so obvious accounts like this were taking advantage of botting systems to collect ad revenue. But also XQC would add in here, showing what I believe is some stats from a corpo streamer, someone who's working with an organization. He says Twitch has cracked down on bots in the 2 to 3 days, and view botters / victims of view botting have been exposed. Streamers that are part of groups / orgs are seemingly being botted much more heavily. I don't want to start witch hunts, but the data is interesting.
I mean, you know, it looks a bit, fakey. It looks a bit,
Go see for yourself.
unusual.
In this example right here, starting on the 21st, this person went from about 23,000 average viewers down to about 7,000 or 9,000, cut over in half right when the view botting has been cleaned up. And you can see the conversation continuing. And he says, I've been thinking why orgs would bot heavily. Then the answer almost seems obvious. Talent agencies receive a % from ad streams their talent does. By inflating their streamers, they can sell massive ad packages in bulk and take in higher sums. To put
Shadow Master, remember this one.
But simply, fraud. And this person says, you're effing with their bag. And he says, interesting point of view. No, they're not effing everyone's bag. By selling falsified ad packages, it in turn lowers the ROI the companies are getting from those packages. The results? Next campaign's offers become much less than before, and word spreads around. And he's entirely correct. The reason why these orgs are trying to bot their streamers is because they collect more ad revenue. It also makes their streamers look more appealing to advertisers, so they can get better deals, and it causes a huge problem. Imagine advertisers going out there and sponsoring a stream that they believe has 15,000 people, but in reality, it's 14,000 bots and 1,000 legitimate viewers. They're going to get a terrible return on their investment, and they're going to rethink how they negotiate with...
No, but the thing is, I mean, if this went on for such a long time, and people bought it to this degree, and yet somehow the companies still got their money's worth of investment, that means that somehow, even though the botting went down, it was still worth it to get your name out of the company of doing the freaking thing with a bruchteil of the actual viewers and getting something out of it. That's interesting. People admitted that corporate VTubers are botted. People. Doesn't surprise me. Gonna be honest. If you can bot this easily, well, I'm gonna be honest right now. I'm a bit shocked and disappointed that I didn't do it. I'm gonna be honest here. Like, this is so easy printing money, and you basically, well, not harming anyone except for the big companies. Well, fuck that.
All streamers, including legitimate ones who have no botting involved with their platform, and that's gonna hurt everyone. So getting rid of these botters and just botting in general, whether it's people choosing to bot their own streams or people botting other people's streams for whatever reason, getting rid of this stuff is good for everyone. The only people suffering from this are people who are actively trying to manipulate the number of viewers they have for whatever reason. And even Asmongold, the most humble streamer, as he describes himself, would admit that he noticed a drop as well. And he's saying it's better for everyone. Despite losing viewers as a result of this, having a dip, he wants this because this is a bunch of nonsense. And you can see someone saying, but you have been on breaks, so that could be the reason for the drop. And he says, I would say with 95% certainty my channel was being botted. Any logical person would come to that conclusion, but after only 2 days, it's hard to be certain the degree/impact. And I think he's definitely right here. There's not just people botting for themselves, people bot other people's streams, whether to help them, I guess, by giving them more viewers, or to try to maliciously get them banned for botting. But that's something people have done, but don't have that sort of attitude here, this sort of opinion with Hasan. He thinks this dip in viewers is most likely because people are tired of Trump.
Now, it could be because people are getting bored of Donald Trump and pro-Trump content and pro-Trump sentiment. That could probably be a part of this. Or, you know, maybe whoever was doing it stopped doing it potentially. Yeah,
I don't think that's really how it's working out. I mean, if you go to Hasan's YouTube, this is another metric we can look at outside of the Twitch botting stuff. His views look like this. And honestly, it's pretty similar to like my channel, which I don't know if that's a W for me or an L for him. But you look at his views, some of them getting under 100.
Wait, really? Really? Damn. That's actually true. Freak. well, it's still a W for Rev because, well, he's not as big on freaking Twitch as Hasan, but still, Hasan has 1.7 mil subs and Rev has, well, 750. I mean, he's doing really good if you see this. This is actually quite nice. Good. By the way, I am happy for Rev. That's freaking awesome.
K, and then you go to Asmongold's channel, and everything has hundreds of thousands, typically getting close to 1 million views. And if you go to his alt channel, the clip channel, most of the videos have over 1 million views. So if you're looking at another metric here, that's telling a story that doesn't line up with what Hasan is saying. It seems like it's a bunch of cope.
Yep, it is.
But here we have even higher levels of cope. So this clip is Hasan Piker basically talking about other content creators and how they're not coming to bat for him, how they're not defending him, and he's so disappointed that these...
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, if I was on their freaking place, I wouldn't defend him either, because, come on, acolytes, honestly, would you defend a terrorist supporter? Let's be honest here. Like, as soon as you actually defend him, you're in the same freaking wagon. And that's not good. That's not even close to being a fraction of goodness. Of being somewhat good. No, I wouldn't want that.
Progressive content creators aren't coming to his defense. And boy, I wonder why nobody's doing that.
A lot of the content creators that are in the periphery, quietly watching the events that are unfolding, their hope is that it just inevitably goes away.
Hasan is botting virtuously. Rever Curly is an evil Zonia's pose. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, yes, I just think that Hasan's viewers are, to a large degree, basically bots. And Rev's viewers are actually a community that grows because, as I said beforehand, yeah, botting and such, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, even my little community here is growing step by step by step by step. It's just a slow grow. Because let's be honest here, acolytes, I'm not doing anything special. It's just reactions. And still, somehow people like to watch me. So yeah. But nonetheless, it's still growing naturally. It's a slow growth, very slow, but hey, I'm still having fun. And seemingly everybody who's watching me also has fun. Well, most people. Some are just toxic, decaying freaks, but hey, it is what it is. And I don't mean the actual positive ones. I mean the ones that try to, well, talk and just say, yeah, I'm gonna off you Lich thing, the Bob. Yeah. Irrelevant.
I think what they fail to recognize,
oh, yes.
that.
And by the way, thank you for that, Shadow Master. I am actually quite happy you're helping with the Discord, even though I'm not doing a lot, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what to do with it, except for just letting the people do whatever, like, to a certain degree, do what they want, but, most just wait for an update of me, so glad about that.
The lack of counter messaging from progressive voices on this platform out of understandable fear that they might be harassed endlessly by some of the...
This is also such bollocks. You are, for the last at least 15 years, progressive voices were way louder, way louder than the non-progressive voices. Literally, you couldn't have a non-progressive voice could have been banned in seconds after saying something. And right now, you're just pretending to be a little poor victim of the non-progressive actors? No, a few. And yes, yeah, I agree with you. It's just evil. At this point, it's just Not even close. This is just pure evil.
These rabid monsters has created an environment where the most loud voices you hear are the likes of
No, that's
Asmongold.
something that you did.
And there's only one person who is actively in the top, regularly duking it out with these people, and that person is ritualistically humiliated with ridiculous smears over and over again and turned into a toxic pariah.
I love that part where he's describing himself as a pariah.
Yep.
And the only person standing up to people like Asmongold. And he describes the people he deals with as rabid monsters. And he looks at other progressive content creators and he says, they just hope all this stuff will go away. And the reason they're not providing countermeasures is because they're scared of this harassment that I face. And unfortunately for Hasan, it's a lot more simple than that. They just don't want to defend you because what you're saying is crazy. It's not just like you're giving some political points and people are a little at odds over that. No, it's like you say things that are glorifying terrorism and these awful incitements of political violence and things like that. And the rhetoric is just indefensible. People don't want to defend it. People are smart enough, even if they believe in what he's saying, to be like, if I come to his defense, I'm going to get cooked because people think I'm crazy. I just don't think anyone wants to defend this guy.
Especially as you say, Shadow Master, he's a Nepo baby that's grifting around, supporting terroristic groups, like negative stuff, then talking in a certain way that implies a lot of bad stuff, and I mean a lot of very, very, very bad stuff. And if you're gonna be associated with this, well, I'm gonna be honest, you should get trouble for that. Even if you're just watching and agreeing with him, this should be a gigantic red flag. We have gone so far left in the West that the Marx looks far right. Yes, that's also true, James. That's also true. And it's not just that, it's also freaking in Germany, it's the exact same thing. We're still dealing with the entire freaking thing, and it's dying down slowly but surely. But damn, if you knew the dictators that are here, the politicians that are here, damn. We literally had someone who got called Pimmel. It's basically like dick in German, but not as aggressive. It's just like a, let's just say, sweet kind of way of saying it. And he basically raided the house of the guy just for being called a Pimmel. So there's that.
Only people who will defend him is his direct orbit, who will do anything to keep within his sphere of clouts, and then his audience that is incredibly radicalized, and they've been catered to with crazy rhetoric for years. Those are the only people who are going to come to his defense. But we're now going to hear the next level of coping here, where he's talking about how viewers don't get this and how it's all these right-wingers that are coming after him, and it's so unfair.
Playing the victim again.
What do you think happens at that point? If the only voices of political discourse is far-right voices, and the only major voice of progressive politics is a guy that those far-right voices are explicitly attacking with regular frequency.
If he's talking about himself, If you're the voice of the left, then I don't know. Gaia, Titan of Earth, please protect us. Or any kind of deity. Damn.
From the audience's perspective, they don't actually understand where that silence comes from these other content creators. They don't see the way the sausage gets made. They don't know that this is out of real fear of harassment that they do not want to invoke. So they think, oh, everybody's right wing. This is cool. Reading an AI script? Yes. I'm reading an AI script.
By the way, that first part is a reference of the far right when he's talking about Asmongold. He's calling Asmongold the far right. And if you've
Yep.
watched enough of his streams or his videos, you could probably put Asmongold somewhere maybe close to the center. Like, he has a lot of views that are from the left. So I don't understand how he's considered far right. But then again, anyone to the right of Mao Zedong is far right in the eyes of people like
Yes.
Hasan Piker. But by extension of this, does this mean someone like Ethan Klein is the far right too, because he dares to criticize Hasan Piker? That
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Ethan Klein is literally has just a little. It's if you just put those two to each other left. Ethan and Hasan agreed to 96% of the things that they talk about. There are just this little fringe of 4% that they disagree on, and Ethan is instantly getting mobbed, his child harassed, his wife actually being said that she was a valid military target, like things like that. And James, democracy is something that I personally like, but you are correct in one thing. It's easily corruptible, but every single thing is easily corruptible. Democracy may be a thing with the highest resistance against it, but human beings will always grab power. So, no matter what you do, at which time you do it, people will just want to grab power. Shadow Master Sun audience is so radicalized that you're more safer with him calling you a pedo than a Zionist. I agree. Yes, that's not even. Yeah, that's a fact. That's not. Yeah, true.
That's the issue here, because with Hasan Piker and people like him, if you're not 100% on board with everything he says, they
Yes.
are not going to associate with you. They're going to hate you. Like, if you're 1% off from their total
Yep.
belief system, they're 100% done with you.
Yep.
And that's the issue. There's basically no allies. And then he wonders, like, man, how have I burned so many bridges? Why does no one come to defend me? Well, even people who are very close ideologically, they get chastised by Hasan because they disagree on, like, the smallest of
Yep.
issues. But anyways, at the end of the day, he keeps saying far right, left, right, whatever. Almost everything Hasan gets criticized for has nothing to do with politics. Like, it's
Yep.
not like he's coming out here and talking about, like, universal health care, and then, all these rabid right-wingers are coming after him. This stuff is just common sense. Like, when you say stuff like, you don't have a problem with Hezbollah, or America
Yep.
deserved 9/11, or these other crazy things, or this violent rhetoric he routinely expels, it's common sense to not like that. It's not even political. People just don't like the crazy stuff he's saying. And he also thinks viewers are stupid. He's like explaining to viewers, like, you guys don't know how the sausage is made behind the scenes. No.
I mean, his viewers probably don't think about the things they are hearing. So, stupid, maybe not, but definitively not thinking about the things that he says.
The audience understands when they hear this crazy rhetoric that it's something they don't agree with. It's really not that complicated. And also, I love the part about him reading an AI script. Someone in his audience accused him of reading an AI script because that's how terrible his little speech was going. But I'm going to move on to another part here with Aiden Ross. Now, Aiden Ross is someone who's been feuding with Hasan for many years. And he was recently unbanned on Twitch, but he didn't go back. But he was, quote unquote, permanently banned in 2023. And one of the people who was very vocal about wanting him removed from the platform was Hasan Piker. And of course, years go by, Aiden Ross doesn't forget that and does not have a good view of Hasan Piker, as you can see in this clip where he calls him a terrorist and says he's going to try to get Trump to deport him.
You suck.
Yeah.
How does this retard have a audience? Like, I'm not even joking. Yo, bro, he's banned in Turkey. It makes sense. Let's ban him from America.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Turkish people aren't as freaking nice about the entire thing as Americans are, or even Europeans. I don't know why the F we actually put up with people like Hasan. It's just irrelevant.
Yo, I go lie. Yo, he is literally a terrorist. Yo, bro, please can we ban him from America? Yo, bro, I will get a poll sign. I guarantee everyone will sign it. He sucks. He sucks. Let's deport Hasan. Hashtag deport Hasan. Oh my God, bro, please. Bro, if I see Trump, I'm actually asking him. I don't care. I don't give. Yo, bro, I'm gonna bring it up. I don't care.
Now, Hasan sees stuff like that, and he's like, I don't understand the animosity. I just don't understand why someone like Aiden Ross would be so mad at me. Well, you have a history, and that's what a lot of content creators who are critical of Hasan have as well. They have a history with Hasan that typically begins with Hasan doing something to them. And then he wonders why they have such a negative view of him and why they're so critical of him. Well, it's a self-created situation. And this clip right here shows the total lack of awareness, where he's talked about so many right-wingers, which is, again, anyone he disagrees with, how they don't like him. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand what he ever did to these people. He just reads the news, man.
Hasan derangement syndrome. We're like, oh, I stubbed my toe. Thanks, Hasan. I will never understand. For the life of me, I will never understand it. What I do to some of these people, because I'm just over here covering the news, and dudes that I never think about, dudes that I never talk about, spend every waking moment trying to bring.
By the way, very good social manipulation. He pretends to be way more important than he actually is. It's on point. I actually quite very, very good played. Let's just say it like that.
My name up in every conversation, including silly shit like ETH. I don't have a single cryptocurrency coin at all. It's literally because you're brown, understand shit. I mean, I'm so white passing, dude. Well, that's crazy. Maybe people do see it that way. I don't.
Accidentally. Okay, let me read this. Acolytes for the accidentally got Spanish chocolate ice cream. Thanks, Hasan. Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. Pre-October 7, I would have argued with you on that front, but like, low key, I think that does play a big role. But I don't know. Nah, actually, you know what? That's not it. That can't be it.
He really doesn't understand why people dislike him. It's actually insane. I mean, number one, he's surrounded by yes men and sycophantic fans who agree with everything he says. So once he gets outside of that echo chamber, he's like, whoa, wait a second. People really don't like me. I know it's shocking, but that is the very observable truth. That's why every time he collabs with another YouTube channel like the Trash Taste thing, or he does like the NPR podcast or anything like that, the dislikes are into another level. It's typically ratioed by dislikes because everyone sees him outside his orbit and they don't like what they see. Yeah. And it's not that hard to understand. He acts like he's just reading the news. How do these people have such a vendetta against me because I just read the news? No, you go after people all the time. Like, if you want to have the smoke, you have to be able to take the smoke as well. And a lot of people have been personally attacked by Hasan over the years. I think any content creator who's been around long enough has had at least one moment where they were attacked by Hasan Piker. I can speak personally. I remember like a couple years ago it started. He started doing what he does to a lot of other content creators. He doesn't have an argument against anything you say, so he starts slandering you. He calls you a Nazi, a pedophile, racist, all these things completely unsubstantiated. And yeah, that sticks with people. And I was dumb enough back then, a couple years ago, to think, you know what? Much bigger content creator than me, especially back then. I should just kind of let this slide. He'll forget about me. No, it kept happening over and over again. And he even started making the same baseless slander against people like Asmongold for simply reacting to my content. People don't forget stuff like that. I had not said a single thing and then got dragged through the mud in front of 30, 40,000 viewers multiple times for months. I don't forget that. People don't forget these things. Like, it's so obvious that people would not forget this. They would not move on. They would not give you the benefit of the doubt. They're going to be very critical of you because you went after, you threw the first punch. And also he ends that clip talking about the race card.
And by the way, that's why I always say, treat your enemies the same way they would treat you. Do not attack, punch back. And if somebody attacks you, well, you actually have enough ammunition to actually shove them. Do it. Don't show mercy.
Of course. He's trying to play both teams. He's white passing and he's brown. Yeah, that is not why people criticize him. Neither of those reasons or those descriptions. And to start playing the race card, and he's like, maybe that's it, maybe it's not it. You know what he's trying to do there, right? He's trying to basically pass this off as just people being racist. That's why they're saying these things. That's why they don't like him. It's just another gigantic cope. But anyways, back to the shuffle here. Haven't heard much from Ethan Klein, so let's get over there. This is a clip of Hasan reacting to a potential new video from Ethan Klein where the topic is not very clear, but it's supposed to be potentially a very big expose on Hasan, and this was his response to a chatter who brought it up.
I'm telling you, dude, he's going to release a video on your sex life and he's going to frame it to make you look bad. If anybody watches a video from a 40-year-old man who has spent the last year actively stalking me, whose obsession, whose psychosexual obsession, his pathological obsession was so clear and present that it was basically calcified in a GQ article.
I just want to interrupt him and say the following. Hasan Piker shows nudes of his fans on his handy to his friends. So yeah, just so you know the context and have the information in the back of your head who's talking right now. So
Article by a random journalist who brought it up himself is going to watch a YouTube video like that and go, yeah, he's not the weirdo. The guy who is actively trying to frame as a bad guy is the real weirdo here. That's on them. Starting a podcast with Ethan was your biggest L? 100%. That is true. Major mistake.
Again, he's calling Ethan 40. Ethan turned 40 somewhat recently. Hasan is 34, acting like there's this gigantic generational difference in age between them when in reality it's 6 years. A 34-year-old and a 40-year-old. And he's acting like Ethan's some like 50-year-old man and he's like a teenager. Like, it's very infantilizing and weird. He's acting like he's so young. I mean, not only are the ages of these two very close, he's 34. Stop acting like you're this like fresh guy on the scene or something. Like,
yep. He just cannot accept it that he's getting older. Acolytes, it is what it is. As long as you live, every second that passes, you're gonna get older. I'm not excluded. My bones just get older. I mean, I can destroy my body and then resurrect with the phylactery, but you know. What? I like my chocolate and 10 ladies yet racist. Yeah, James, that's how it works. That's how it just works.
Like, it's such a ridiculous cop-out. But the rest of it really follows the classic Hasan system, where he's name-calling and trying to make Ethan sound crazy. He describes Ethan's view of Hasan as a psychosexual obsession. Weird thing to take away from all of this, that it's somehow on that level. This is a married man with children, and that's your take from him criticizing you. Like, I really don't understand this, and the level of coping is, well, next level. But let's talk about Ethan for a second here. Kind of an interesting situation. So you can see this post he made saying, "Good morning, everyone. I would like to shout out all my white male baddies on the subreddit." Now, why is he saying that? Well, he reposted this TikTok. I think there might be copyrighted music in the background, but it's like 15 seconds to describe it. Basically, she's saying that Ethan Klein's audience is only white men. That's it.
Oh, frick, this can't be. I don't remember, but she looks like this Pure star. I don't remember how she's called. I just... Bah! Acolytes, for F's sake, do you remember... Khalifa something. And... No, come on. Most people think Hasan is cringe. And same with all the other bread tubers. Yes, I mean, if a 50... Yeah, you know what? Meanwhile, yes, I agree with that. The 15 years of the dominance is coming to an end. And now the kids that grow up think that, yeah, he is cringe. I'm happy about it. Psycho Central sounds like a song that would go hard. Oh, hell yeah. Oh. Yes, it sounds like a song that would go hard, doesn't it?
That's his only audience, and that's the only audience he cares about. And of course, this person's getting destroyed. You can see the comments saying, I'm Asian, I support Ethan Klein. And then you see the ones that don't like him. I think his audience are Zionists who just hate Hasan. Bruh, what are these comments? I'm stunned that people willingly admit to watching Ethan. There's definitely a war going on here. People saying I'm this ethnicity or this gender and I like Ethan Klein. Then the other part is attacking him and saying, so true, Queen. And another trend happened on the related platforms here where people are posting their support saying, hey, I'm not a white male or I'm not this, not that, and I still support you. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is a lot of slop to cover today. That was a lot, I will admit. But I appreciate.
Hey, it is what it is. You soldiered through, as it says. I probably be a Yandri Treasure metal track. That is EDM track. That's all. Oh, yeah, probably. Sishodomesa, now you reminded me that Yandere Dev still exists. You have to look up how he's doing, or how he's not doing.